So you know all those tree trunks that the giants left behind, and they petrified, and modern science says, no, those are just rock formations? Well, it kind of makes it hard to believe when they leave their axe behind.
Yo, what's up my people? Welcome back to the channel. Today we're gonna watch one of my favorite subjects. So, open your mind and let's play. You gotta take into account that they are way out there. Can't even imagine the height of this guy.
So everybody heard about the story of the petrified giants inside of the Bible, right? I think I just might have came across something that y'all might find very interesting. So all over the world, people have been finding these strange, mysterious crystals that resemble and look like tissue and muscle. See, as you can see right here, this is the crystal. This is like a steak or something. Another one, This is another one looking like layers of fat, muscle, and tissue. Once again, another one. Y'all can't tell me this doesn't look like muscle and tissue. They even made furniture out of it. And see now, what we was just looking at was a crystal that was called rhodonite, which is a manganese silicate. And see now, the craziest part is you can find manganese inside of the body. Yeah, stored inside of bones and small amounts inside the liver, brain, kidneys, and pancreas. And it also helps the body maintain stable tissue. Don't you guys just find that very interesting? Now I guess it is more to the mystery about the Nephilim and the giants that we know. Y'all let me know what y'all think about the giants and these strange flesh-like crystals found all over the world in the comments. Like and follow for more wisdom and stay tuned. Yeah, make sure y'all share this to somebody that does not know.
A TikTok account by the name of El Domador de Sumisas captures something really strange on top of a mountain in Mexico. What looks like a giant humanoid being moving on top of a mountain. This thing has to be at least 2 to 3 meters tall. If you take a look at the mountain and the trucks passing by as a reference for size, he captured 2 videos I'm going to show you guys. This is the first video.
Caminando.
When this video was uploaded, internet users were baffled, but at the same time they weren't much convinced about it because it's not moving much. But then, El Domador de Sumisas uploaded another video, a complete video, and in this second video you can see the creature crouching, walking just like any human being would. The only difference is this thing is huge. It has to be around 2 to 3 meters tall if you pay attention to the trucks, cars, and the mountain as a reference for size. This is the video. Pay very much attention. Whatever this is going on here, it's I don't know, what the heck? Take a look at this.
Yo veo un gigante ahí arriba. ¿Qué será? Se mueve, se mueve.
Pay close attention, it's gonna start walking now. What the heck is going on here?
Telling you, these guys, man, they're tall. Let us hope they are the nice type.
I really don't know where this obsession with giants comes from when it comes to ancient Egypt. The smaller statues you see depicted next to the legs are the children and wives of the pharaoh. In this case of Ramses II, he had 70 wives and hundreds of children, of which he outlived most of them.
Mummies of ancient giants with red hair have been found in other parts of the United States as well, along with objects evidencing an ancient yet sophisticated culture. In 1940, another cave was discovered that contained mummies of giants. However, the United States government were able to cover it up.
Yeah, this obsession, man, it comes from inside. These red-haired giants. When I was small, I met my twin cousins, over 2 meters tall, reddish hair. I didn't know it then, but I think they're part of our family heritage.
Here's even more evidence of the existence of giant humans in human antiquity. You'll find them in sculptures. You see this guy, he's 11 feet tall. You'll find him in Babylon, Egypt, the Mayans, and I don't know if you know this or not, but St. Christopher, he was a giant.
Do you still think these giant-sized doors were just decorative and weren't actually used by giant-sized beings that once walked this earth? Well, maybe seeing the remains of some of these giant-sized beings might just change your mind.
You wanted to see something about giants?
Yes, giants.
So we're going to start off really big. How's that sound? Here's the biggest thing I've got. This is from an 18-foot person, estimated. Big toe bone. There it is.
That is this part.
Yeah, your very end big toe bone. It's been x-rayed and this person had broke their toe bone and then it healed up. This is from an 18-foot person.
We were out at, we were in Turkey and we were out at the village where we believed Noah's house to be. And years ago they had dug up a grave that we believe was Noah's wife's grave. Just looking around where the hole for her grave was, where they had dug it up, and we found some bones. And these bones here have been identified by a radiologist and a couple of physicians. None of them want to put their name on their statement, but here's what they told us we have. We have a human finger with a touch of arthritis. And this is the finger. This is this part of the finger. See, it's this.
And if that wasn't enough for you, how about this giant-sized mummified finger that was found in Egypt? So giant that it literally spans the length of someone's lap. And like I've been saying throughout all my videos I do on giants, is there's an agenda to hide that from you because it legitimizes what the Bible says. The Bible talks about giants dozens of times. And they just want you to abandon God. In fact, they want you to think that he's just some made-up fairy tale. So you can go on thinking that these giant doors were just part of the decorative style of the times, or you can see past the mainstream narrative and see what's really out there. And don't forget that I'm a satire account and this is all for entertainment. I'm sure this is just some giant hoax, like everything. Entertainment purposes only.
These giant great beasts petrified in stone. I don't know what happened to this world, but it was strong enough to petrify these giant great beasts right where they were standing. It must have been a really evil time for this to happen. Or could have this just been an unfortunate accident that this happened to this giant world and we only see glimpses of its petrified past?
Yeah, I wonder why would you build doors big like that if you're like 6 feet tall? And if you look closely at the doors, there's like these little peek holes, and they're way high for a regular person to peek through. So what do you think?
Right here within the belly of the Lovelock Cave, the remains of a 6'6" human was unearthed. They were not Paiute, but rather an enemy tribe by the name of Saitaka. They were known by their massive size, strength, and wiry red hair. Other tribes feared them, for it was known that the Saitaka practiced cannibalism. Wars went on for many years until legend has it that members of the Paiute tribe chased the last giants into the cave, filling the cavity with flaming arrows, suffocating and burning the red-haired cannibals alive. The eerie part about this legend is you can witness the soot-covered ceiling to this day. The way in which the artifacts were discovered is as though they were being cached neatly away for the next season.
The megaliths of Montana. These megaliths are found all throughout the wilderness of Montana. From the Giant's Playground, a suitable name for such a place, to the far northern wilderness of Montana. These walls and dolmens and many other structures are all dismissed by the mainstream as nothing more than just naturally occurring. It's quite clear that none of these look natural. And a great site, MontanaMegaliths.com, has a well-documented list of all these megaliths, counting well into the hundreds, including my favorite here, the Robotic Watcher. The mainstream dismisses these because it's quite clear giants had to have a hand in this. Question everything, friends. Until next time.
What is it?
It's a person, dude. No, seriously, pull over, pull over.
No.
It's a person standing there.
No, it's not.
Dude, if you seen what I've seen right now,
When I first heard this story about the Indians fighting red-haired giants, it made me kind of sad. And then I realized people will always have that fighting gene.
A real giant was captured in Mexico. Look, look, look. He's a giant, a supposed real giant. And that's despite the fact that it is being recorded from this distance with a Samsung phone that managed to capture these shocking images. All these people are watching the supposed giant that is walking at the top of this mountain. Really? It's shocking what we're seeing here. Really? I can't believe it. They managed to capture the definitive video that proves that these beings, gigantic ones, walk on our planet. I don't know what you think about it, but look at how tall it is and look at the height of the real trees, extremely high. The person who is recording manages to capture the height so incredible that this person has Look, it is almost at the level as the tree almost. A real giant, or what do you think about this?
In 1895, the fossil of a giant was found by Dyer in Ireland during mineral research. The height of the giant photographed in front of a train car is 3 meters 70 centimeters, his weight is 2,050 kilograms. It is believed that the weight of the giant fossil, which has 6 fingers on its right foot, is due to the fact that it is petrified. However, it is not known what happened to this giant fossil afterwards. What scientists found during research in caves near Lovelock, Nevada, was amazing. More than 10,000 artifacts were found, mummified remains were unearthed, one of which was more than 6.5 meters tall, and the other was more than 8 meters.
There is evidence all around the world of the existence of an ancient giant species much larger than we can possibly ever imagine. I believe a cataclysmic event such as an asteroid colliding with Earth is responsible for petrifying these giants, covering them with water, rock and ash and instantly freezing them in time. Just look at the size and detail of some of these structures, guys. Now there's just absolutely no way that water and air erosion over time has left these rock faces in these formations. Everything points to their existence being erased instantaneously, and the rock formations left behind tell the true story of their past. It's not just giant rock formations of humans either. All over the world there's evidence of giant animals being petrified also. Huge beasts on a grand scale that once roamed this earth. Giant mammals, reptiles and birds can be found all over the world in these petrified rock formations. Now skeptics will say that these rock formations are just a naturally occurring thing and we're just seeing the faces and shapes in them that we want to see, but I'm calling bullshit on that. There is no denying exactly what these animals are. I don't even need to say the animal name and you already know. Look at the detail in the way the rock is formed and compare that to its real life animal example. Now there is some speculation that the pink salt mines is actually the petrified flesh of some of these giants harvested from the earth. These photos and videos show the similarities and truth that these salt rocks were once living tissue.
I don't think that those stones were made in a natural way. You just have to clear your mind of whatever lied close-minded people have told you.
The bodies of the Nephilims turned into mountains. It is known that when fallen angels mate with humans, they end up producing offspring that in the Bible are referred to as the Nephilims. These creatures are a powerful group of people that are said to bear insane strength and are huge in size. However, somewhere in the history of humanity, they all just vanished. Now, this might sound crazy, but there is a theory that it was during the flood of Noah where the majority of the Nephilims were petrified, and their bodies eventually became the mountains that we see today. Over the course of history, there are references to this, like in the 1948 speech given by Abraham Lincoln, talking about a species of extinct giants whose bones fill the mountains of America, or that hikers who hiked up mountains and caves say it resembles a giant human shape. So, is this proof that?
In the deserts of South Africa, a sunken footprint can be found within a rock formation. What's unique is that this foot is over 1 meter in length.
The giant footprint. In my opinion, probably the greatest example of a giant footprint
in rock. I haven't seen anything better yet.
It is thought that it was imprinted whilst the ground was soft clay. Over time, the fossil has then formed.
It was first discovered in 1931 by a farmer or a guy around this area called Stoffel Coetzee, who was hunting in this area. He refers to this as the place where the ogres once used to live. The ogres and the man-eating giants that used to live in this part of the world.
Yeah, that's a big feat. That's no denying it.
Are these petrified giants?
Yep, that is a gigantic lizard right there.
News. This video was supposedly taken in 2006. I wonder how many more of the giants have come out of hibernation since then? What appears to be a giant man was captured on video in northern Afghanistan in a region known to be home to so-called giants or Anunnaki in both modern and ancient stories. A video published on YouTube in the winter of 2006 reveals what appears to be an 8-foot-tall man standing on the side of the road next to another young man who appears to be only 2/3 the height of the giant.
I'm starting to think that they are resurfacing because of the frequencies starting to shift on this plane.
In China, this footprint was found and measured over twice the length of an adult foot. Even larger still is this enormous 4-foot-tall print in South Africa. The giant footprint of Bhima is one of the best examples discovered in Bangalore. Scientists have discovered that the rock surrounding some of these footprints is hundreds of millions of years old.
The Giant of Castelnau is a mysterious discovery made by Georges Vacher de la Pouge in 1890. The bones, a humerus, tibia, and femoral midshaft, were found in the sediment used to cover a Bronze Age burial tumulus in the Bronze Age cemetery of Castelnau-le-Lez, France. De la Pouge estimated from the bone size that the human may have been about 11 foot 6 inches tall, making it one of the largest humans known to have existed. The discovery caused a sensation and was reported in the journal La Nature in 1890. In 1894, press accounts mentioned further discoveries of bones in human giants, indicating a race of men between 10 and 15 feet in height.
Have you ever given any thought as to why there are so many stories and myths about giants on the earth? Could it be that this society of giant people dwells in cities within the earth but have above-ground access to secluded areas like in the Patagonian mountains located at the southern end of South America, shared by Argentina and Chile? The existence of these unknown beings, known as the Patagones or Patagonian giants, were brought to light for the first time in the 1520s when Ferdinand Magellan and his crew saw them while exploring the coastline of South America en route to their circumnavigation. It could well be that Magellan and his crew saw the Tehuelche. These people were indeed very tall. But as he wrote explicitly about Patagonian giants, who were supposed to have exceeded at least double normal human height, some accounts giving heights of 12 to 15 feet, we may assume that they really saw Patagonian giants instead of the Tehuelche.
Maybe it has something to do with that. You all know that I think that that's not the real sun. Maybe the real sun has started to shift its frequencies, so they can sense that. That's why they've started to resurface, because they know that the solar shift is happening very soon. And now when the sun is actually dimming, it's like a wake-up call for these people down there. That's what we're starting to see resurfacing. And I bet you we're gonna start to see a lot more. And hopefully we will all transcend together after that. But what do I know? What do you think?
Well, by the way, the Smithsonian is an extension of the Vatican, okay? Really? I'll tell you right now. And I'm not going to tell you how I know that, or, believe me, take it to the bank. I guess keeping people stupid, we're easier to control if we're dumber and believe a lot of lies and everything, But the thing is, with the giant people, is the way I see it is, there was all kinds of different giants. Just like you have all kinds of different people, and some of them were like that one. Okay, let's get on the Kandahar one because that was something I definitely wanted to bring up. If you listen to Steve Quayle, and L.A. Marzulli talks about it too on there, apparently, and Steve has a lot of informants. A lot of people go to Steve. I've got some issues with him, but I like him, basically. They were all a bunch of old guys,
Yeah, here we go. Those are the kind of people that are destroying this world, thinking that they're doing you a favor. I don't think so. The Smithsonian and the Vatican had power, keeping it by brute force. Today, people are wising up. People should demand having access to those libraries to see what's really been going on. I wish that people would appreciate history more than just hiding it. There are many things in this world that should not be hidden from us. It is all of our history and heritage that they're messing with. Just remember that. I'll tell you about a dream I once had. I was being chased by these two giants, and I came to this house, and inside, the mama giant, she told them there would be no living in this home. And I asked her why they're trying to do that to me. And she said, because you keep shooting at us. And I realized I had one of these M16s on me. And then suddenly I was out of the house, and these two giants were chasing me again, and I turned around and and then I woke up. 2 months later, I saw this story.
You were in Afghanistan in 2002, and you were called into a very remote section of Afghanistan because a patrol had basically gone missing.
Exactly.
Okay,
Exactly.
there's no villages around
nothing
for miles.
Right.
So very remote.
Yeah, very remote. So we flew in. About 4 kilometers.
were hiking through the same area where they were supposed to make one of their checkpoints, one of their rally points. And before we'd left, there was all kinds of what happened with the ambush, but that was even odd because at point of ambush, you would call for maybe close air support, something, okay? There was no calls made, just off the grid. So we're coming down a mountainside, and it was a nice path, a goat path. As we bent around this corner, you could see this opening of the cave. There's a cave as we're coming around. And then I see there's a lot of rocks, which is another oddity, and then bone matter. When I'm not close enough to identify what kind of bones, but I did see something I knew was a piece of our communications equipment. So instantly we're thinking ambush, maybe animal, could be anything. And there was enough room in front of this cave, but it had a sheer drop off. But there was enough room that we actually got into a decent dispersal in case of ambush.
You see something coming out of the cave, and it's moving with a speed and agility that catches you off guard.
Everybody. And he comes out. It was a man at least 12 to 15 feet in height. This is a monster. Red beard, then his hair was longish, past the shoulder, a scarlet red, and Dan runs at him and starts shooting, which broke all of us into the reality. Because it was
so
surreal.
Now your training is kicking in.
Oh yeah,
Okay.
Muscle memory, complete muscle memory. While Dan is moving at him, another bro of mine's laying down fire and I start firing. He skewers Dan. He's now got him on this pike. It went through him. And he's still got him. And he's coming after more. We all just clicked in. I don't know what it was, but I remember we're all like, shoot him in the face, shoot him in the face. And our weapons components were in force. We had 308s, and we had Barrett 50s. This is sounding longer than it took. We're talking 30 seconds. And he's taking multiple hits, and is still moving. Dan was dead. Okay? And Wyatt is a good man, probably one of the best men I know, now dead. Before I'd left, they were already starting what they call a 9-line, which is a medevac request. They're sending out a medevac request, then all of a sudden it's not a medevac request. All of a sudden we had a helicopter show up because, like I told you, it was a large precipice and a sheer drop. So the helicopter just came up from the drop. They had dropped netting, which is like cargo netting. It's like squares. We were told we had to bundle him up. And we get another bigger helicopter, but it's almost like a Jolly Green Giant used to look back in the day that could get, through this area. Because the mountains, you gotta remember, Chinooks could only go in certain places because they had enough lift.
Mm-hmm.
And so we got him on there. The thing was too big, we couldn't move it. It smelled worse than a skunk. A corpse that's been around for a while.
Really fell.
Oh, it was like a combination because of the, how do you put that, the persistence of a skunk smell, but once the helicopter came in, dropped its little hook, and off he goes. The communication was sent out that we had a very large, possible human creature.
There you are in the hills of Afghanistan. How many troop members are you with?
We had 6 on my crew. And when we say hills of Afghanistan, for us, we did not fly into the wilderness. We actually flew into a base. I guess this thing was transloaded out of the mountains by a CH-47. But I could see that it did have the 6 fingers. I remember taking my foot up and placing it up next to its foot, and it was extremely large. We estimated at about 12 feet, give or take. What I can tell you is the weight of the thing. Basically, it was approximately 1,500 pounds when it was getting on the aircraft. Now, if you take away the pallet weight and all the rigging that we had to hold this thing down, we figured it was around 1,100 pounds.
Of course we're upset. That's a given, okay? We lost a very good guy. But Add to that, you're discussing something that even in our after action report, they're saying rewrite it. And we had to rewrite it the way they wanted it.
How many fingers?
Six
fingers
toes.
and six toes.
And the nails were weird because if you see somebody that ever has, I don't know what it's called, but it's
Like a fungus on
the nails, how they get pointy and they're like gnarly. That's what they look.
Yeah, that's a freaky dinky quinky dinky if you not believe in those, which I don't.
快跳跳！哎呦，哎呦我操！
Não, sai da trás do carro. Não!
That's crazy. Alright, thanks for tuning in. That's the end of this one. Remember to like, share, and subscribe, and I'll see you next time. Peace.